Welcome, everyone. Hope everyone had a nice 4th of July weekend. And it's Sunday. We had 3 games today in the league, and this was the second one of the 3 that I watched. And Chicago, they had hopes of an upset. You catch Minnesota, they had the Commissioner's Cup, then they had a game on Thursday, then they played yesterday against the Valkyries, and the Valkyries gave them a bit of a scare, but, like I said, they play with their food. And then Chicago, they came in with, eyeing an upset. So first quarter starts, Chicago goes out to a 24-10 lead. And you could tell it was like, okay, maybe Minnesota, they're catching them at just the right time. You got to back you're the last team of the back-to-back, and you're hoping they're tired. And, if you play well, you might be able to catch them and get in and out of there with a win. But Minnesota kind of said not so fast. So, but Chicago held in there the whole game even right until the end. Minnesota was making, towards the end of the game, they were making little runs. But Chicago wasn't going away. So good for them. That is a hard-fought game. So it was 24-10 in the first quarter, and then Minnesota just turned it right around and outscored them 28-13. So they're up 1 point at halftime. And then the third quarter was pretty even. Minnesota outscored them 18-15, and then the fourth quarter was 1 point difference. So Minnesota ends up getting the win 80-75. And, it was a close, going to Chicago's stats first, Chicago had 5 people in double figures. That's a good all-around game. And Angel Reese had her, she's been playing really well. Just 16 points and 17 rebounds and 6 assists. That's pretty good. That's exceptional for a lot of players. And she's been doing that every single game. And the thing that's impressing me is the assists. She had 6 turnovers too, but the fact that she's looking for her teammates and getting the assists is, a real growth and maturity on her part. So good game for Angel. She shot 43%. Olian Wayne had 11 points. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing her name right. But she had 8 rebounds. She had 1 assist and 11 points. And she shot 44% from the floor. She hit a 3-point shot. Elizabeth Williams, 12 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Ariel Atkins had 11. She didn't shoot very well, though. She was 2 for 3 from 3, but otherwise she was 3 for 14, which is 21%. That's not... they need more out of her. But Rachel Banham, Chicago has looked a lot better with Rachel Banham at the point guard position. And, I wouldn't have thought so with her there because she's mainly just a 3-point shooter. But she's been doing really well, and she's had them under control. They had 14 turnovers, which that's not fantastic, but it's not bad either. You want to try and keep it under 10 a game. But 14 isn't horrible. So, and then it looked, Angel Reese had 6 of those. So how many did Banham? Banham only had 1 turnover. I think she's only had, in the past 5 games, she's only had like 3 or 4 turnovers, like for the whole time. So she's doing really well. And she was 6 for 10 from 3. So she was rocking. And then 7 for 13 overall, 20 points. Good game. Good game for Banham. She had 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Rebecca Allen had 2 points, and then Kia Nurse had 3. She hit a 3-point shot. And that was it for Chicago. They shot 37% overall. That's not great from the floor. Kia Nurse and Rebecca Allen were 1 for 4 and 1 for 5. And then Haley Van List was 0 for 3, and Maddie Westball was 0 for 2. Ariel Atkins was 3 for 14. Everybody else shot pretty good, but those team members didn't do so well. So Then we go to Minnesota. Minnesota had 4 people in double figures. So you had Napheesa Collier with 21, just like I was saying with Angel Reese, it's like, that's just normal for her. This is normal for Phee. Just 20-something points and, around 10 rebounds. So she had 7 rebounds. She shot 43% from the floor. She was 0 for 5 from 3. She usually hits at least 1 or 2 of those. And then she was 7 for 7 from the line. She's not someone you want to foul because she's going to hit them. And then Alana Smith, she had some key blocks. Just key blocks. She only had 2, but they were very key blocks. She blocked, I think, Rachel Banham on that last 3. And she's so tall. I mean, Alana Smith is either 6'4" or 6'5". So she didn't shoot very well. She was 2 for 7 from the floor, which is 28%. And then Kayla McBride, she had 11 points. That's not great for her. She only shot 30%. She was 1 for 5 from 3. But she hit a key shot near the end of the game that gave Minnesota, I think, a 5-point lead right within the last minute or 2 of the game. And then Courtney Williams, yesterday during the Valkyries game, when you watch the game, it seemed like she didn't miss. She did, but it sure looked like she never missed. And she shot 60% from the floor. 25 points for Courtney Williams. She had 8 rebounds, 6 assists. She was 40% from 3 and almost 60% from the floor. That's a great game for Courtney Williams. She has that mid-range jumper down pat. It's beautiful. It's like she just drives down and then jumps, and she skies, and then just beautiful shot. And she's been hitting lately. She has been one of the key reasons that they've won some of their games. And then Diamond Miller's been getting some more playing time. She had 10 points. She had 5 rebounds and 3 assists. She was 3 for 4 from the floor and 2 for 3 from 3. So good game for her. And then Jessica Shepard had 4 points, 3 rebounds. She only played 11 minutes. And then Maria, I can't pronounce her last name, sorry. Klundikova, I think. She had 5 points. She hit a 3-point shot. I forget exactly when that was, but it was late in the game, which gave them help hold off Chicago, because Chicago kept coming. But every time they did, Minnesota would come back with a lead. So Minnesota shot badly from 3. They only shot 24%. But overall, they shot 41% from the floor. And then they were 14 for 17 from the foul line. So Chicago out-rebounded them 45-37. Assists were even. Turnovers were 8-13. And Minnesota had 6 steals, and Chicago had 4. But, really good game. This was an enjoyable game to watch, and I was, oh my God, Chicago's going to do it. Minnesota looked, they're usually really composed, and they were in this game too. But, Chicago gave them a run for their money. They should be proud. If I was a Chicago fan, I'd be proud of their effort here in this game. And they almost pulled it out. So, but they're looking better and better. Chicago is definitely looking better than they started out. So good for them. And of course, the Minnesota Lynx, they are the cream of the crop. They are now, let me see what the records are. 17-2. Chicago is 5-12. But they're better than their record looks. And I think that they're going to start winning some more games, if you're not playing Minnesota. Very few people get to beat Minnesota, and it's usually they have a bad shooting game. Like the Commissioner's Cup. Boy, they couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. So, anyway, very enjoyable. And I hope everyone had a great 4th of July, and we'll see you next time.